eRoamingEvseData service. From CPO perspective, this service is probably the most important one in the whole OICP protocol, besides authorization service. It allows CPO to push static data regarding his charging infrastructure to Hubject platform, in order to allow other EMPs use it. This service contains only one operation, eRoaming push eVSEData. Of course, implementation is mandatory by every CPO partner. Hubject will first check if there is a valid contract between him and CPO. This time, Hubject platform is a subscriber to CPO, not the specific EMP. Operations like update or delete are also handled by the same operation. It can be specified in action type field in the request, which we will see just in a moment. Hubject has a policy to keep history and version received datasets for most of the data that is pushed to their platform. Every push and every update creates a new version of data. Only the latest version of data will be used, but due to keeping history, it is possible to revert some changes on demand. History of all eVSEData records pushed by CPO is stored and versioned by Hubject. Because of that, Hubject can reconstruct static eVSEData for any point in the past. As I've told you before, in eRoaming push eVSEData request, you can specify which kind of operation you would like to perform. Action type field defines whether you would like to perform full load, insert, update, or delete operation. Also, in this request, you must provide a list of eVSEData records assigned to specific operator. eVSEData record is huge and complicated. Nonetheless, it's crucial to at least briefly know what is the structure, what are the fields, and what do they represent. Starting with accessibility, it specifies how the charging station can be accessed. Accessibility location tells us where it could be accessed. Additional info, as the name suggests, is an optional field that specifies additional information regarding charging station. Address is an object that represents full charging station address. It contains information like country, city, postal code, street name, house number, or even parking spot or floor. Authentication modes specifies which kind of authentication methods are supported in given charging station. Calibration law data availability tells us how charging station provides metering law data. Charging facilities is a list of supported facilities. It can specify whether it's AC, DC, what kind of voltage, amperage, and power is supported. Charging pool ID and charging station ID are IDs related to European Charging Infrastructure Model. We will come back to this topic later. Charging station names, charging station image, and charging station location reference are another additional information regarding charging station. It's often presented to the end user by EMPs. Dynamic info available specifies whether CPO is able to provide dynamic eVSE status. eVSE ID is quite obvious. It's an ID of eVSE. Energy source is a list of sources that are used to provide electric energy. Environmental impact specifies the impact that is being produced by those sources. Geo charge point entrance are geo coordinates of charge point facility entrance. It can be expressed in Google, decimal degree, or minutes seconds degree format. Hotline phone number and hub operator ID are self-explanatory. Is Hubject compatible specifies whether eRoaming via InterCharge network is possible. Max capacity field is in case eVSE has limited capacity. For example, has built-in battery. Values are expressed in kilowatt-hours. Opening times field should be visible only when charging station is not 24 hours available. Payment options, as the name suggests, is a list of payment options that are supported. It can be no payment, in case of free charging, direct, in case of paying by card or cash, or contract, in case of, for example, subscription. Plugs is a list of supported plug types, for example, type 2. Renewable energy tells us whether charging station uses this kind of energy. Sub-operator name is self-explanatory. Value-added services is a list of additional services offered by charging station. It can be, for example, reservation, dynamic pricing, parking sensor, maximum power charging, charging plans, roof provided, and few others. Delta type field is mostly valid for pool operations. It is strictly connected with last call parameter, which can be provided in pool operations query. In general, it says what kind of operation was performed in the middle time compared to the last call. It can be insert, update, or delete. If you provide last call parameter in query and no operation was performed in the middle time, then given record should not be returned in response. Finally, we have last update field, which tells us when was the last time record was updated. Another EVSE related service important from CPO perspective is eRoamingEvseStatus. In contrast to eRoamingEvseData, it focuses only on dynamic EVSE data, especially status information. It's also very simple, it has only one operation. This operation is eRoaming push eVSEStatus. Of course, it allows us to push dynamic EVSE data to Hubject platform. Implementation is mandatory by every CPO partner. When it comes to validation, it behaves the same as for eRoaming push EVSE data. Also, it's possible to specify action type for given operation. Similar as for EVSE data records, history of all EVSE status records is stored and versioned by Hubject. When it comes to the request of this operation, it's very simple. You need to provide a combination of EVSE ID with EVSE status in EVSE status records list.